Welcome back to Gamer's Guide to the Galaxy. Once again, I'm Chris.
I'm Ray.
I'm Jacob.
And I'm Adam.
And last in part one, we discussed the stigma of gaming for people who are non-gamers. Someone who's looking in on a gamer and basically judging them or making things up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or applying what happens with the few to everybody. But that's not fair, because we should really turn it around and start talking about how
we view non-gamers.
We view non-gamers in a similar fashion.
Mm-hmm. And just to let you guys know, this is a little weird for our show. We normally don't stick to one topic, but we feel like this is a very important topic for one, and two, a very expansive topic where we should probably try to be non-biased. So breaking the normal routine of show a little bit, so that we can try to, get a really good topic, though just as it deserves.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm gonna go off of what it says in the chat over there. That we as the non-gamer system. Yeah, I've told people that.
It's a good entry system.
I've told people that, like, people are like what, you don't play games? And they're like, well, I got a Wii. I'm like, well, that's not my gaming system.
But it has games that aren't games. It's got the Zelda.
It's got that
the
stuff,
Mario.
but I don't know. It's just one of the ways, like, I, kind of am doing that stigma. It's like, what, you don't play games? Oh, you got a Wii. Oh,
well,
fancy.
I think that's what we're getting at, because we view them as non-gamers.
And there's also, there's a certain gaming elitist, too.
There is.
Which I'm guilty of.
I'm definitely
You're clearly guilty of it.
I'm very guilty of that too.
What? Just because I got a PS4 and Xbox One and two, we got two.
No,
And-
not because of that. Because of the Wii comment.
Yeah.
And because, people who play games on, like, iPhone, I don't view them as gamers.
I don't-
even though they are. They are.
I'm gonna say Candy Crush Saga is not a game. It is
But
a
it is a
pyramid
game.
scheme.
Well, it's that too. That's what microtransactions are. But,
Oh yeah, then I guess
But
We have a hatred towards
that is a great point. You know what I
we
mean?
do. Well, I do. I
I
have particular hatred towards microtransactions.
Anyway,
I mean,
different topic.
Well, same topic, different part of
same
it.
time, yeah. I mean, Nintendo actually got a lot of flack for their advertising for the Wii and the Wii U because they were trying to target non-gamers and casual gamers, which actually, thinking about it, we were like, why are they targeting them? Why are they going against their target audience? I mean,
Genius move.
yeah, it's a genius move. Get these guys interested in your games, and then
And they're not going to buy the PS4. They're not going to buy the 360.
No, they're gonna buy a Wii,
Or-
and they're gonna sit there and they're gonna play their Mii games and all that, and,
They're fun in their own right.
and they're fun, but they might, suddenly become like Nintendo customers for life. Wii U came out.
Yeah.
Do you think these people did not go get it?
Mhm.
Eventually, they probably did.
But they're not going to go out.
When Mario Kart 8 came out, Wii U sales skyrocketed.
Yeah.
It's those casual gamers going out and finally, buying it.
And they're not going to go out and buy the new Final Fantasy game,
Is there really 8 Mario Karts?
Yeah.
There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot. I still think Double Dash was the best.
Oh
Dash
God,
was
Double
great.
Dash.
Double Dash.
Good memories.
Good
But
memories.
no, that's one of the ones we played. I remember.
All right.
But I think actually that's something that I've actually heard in the gaming community, where it is another stigma within our own community, hardcore versus casual gamers.
Yeah.
Where we're hardcore gamers by definition.
What is the definition exactly?
It's someone who plays more strategy-driven, action-driven, and cares more about the game than just the core mechanics, storyline, depth, and
You actually have definitions.
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, trust me.
Don't ask Jacob for a definition and not expect a definition.
But
Better than an action RPG.
so
ARPG.
game
No,
ever.
no ARPGs. That definition encompassed every game ever made.
All right. Yeah, but we're off topic again. So.
But
God damn it,
so yeah, no. But you know what I mean? We define ourselves as hardcore gamers, casual gamers, and people get flack for it. I know a lot of people are, somebody's like, "Oh yeah, I'm a gamer." I'm like, "No, you're not. Don't use my word."
That's our word. You
You know what I
cannot
mean?
use our
And I think it's a certain level of pride in our own elitist group of, I'm a gamer. This is what I do. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like we're trying to make a club, almost.
Yeah, and it's even between
We're talking
hardcore
about the kind of club.
gamers.
It's called the Game Spectrums.
But even between hardcore gamers, there's like that stigma. Like
I play Call of Duty.
yeah, I play Call of Duty.
Call of
I
Duty's
play
crap.
Halo. Call of Duty's crap.
I think that's more of just boasting.
I play RPGs. You guys don't know anything about story. It's like,
You don't know anything about games because all you do is shoot people.
Yeah. So like, you can say it's boasting, but
We all
there
do
is-
it.
There is a
I've been
stigma to
guilty of that.
there. I mean,
Yeah.
even in past episodes when we brought up Call of Duty, I see you two looking at me like this guy's not a gamer. You play
No.
Call of Duty.
It's more of a disdain for the typical Call of Duty user from my experience.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's not
I
the
would say
game, it's
I
the player.
I do not play Call of Duty with the
Yes.
chat on.
People who
I-
play fish and only fish that.
That Sorry, Call of Duty. But are they really not hardcore gamers? I mean, these guys go on, they play for hours, they get really good, they're very good at the game. I mean, can you really not call them hardcore gamers?
No, they're definitely hardcore gamers in their own right because I've
Yeah.
seen their spray patterns and I can never do it.
Yeah, but they're
They're
you know
They're
they
not the same genre though.
They're not the same genre.
We're more strategic genre generally.
Yeah, we want
Yeah.
we want a story.
Warcraft, League,
I'm just messing with you. Relax.
every Final Fantasy game. Come on.
I was like, take me back off that one. No. I've seen you play. I play with you. No.
No, yesterday the first game you were like, yay, and then the second game you were. I'm pretty sure you did this the entire game.
The third game, my hand was through my head. But at any rate, before we get way off topic, we don't have much time for this much topic that we have to talk about. You know, what I mean, within our own community, we do have a stigma. You know,
Yeah.
and it isn't something that we're necessarily proud of at times because it is a little bit of hatred, and
Yeah.
you know, it's that darker side of everybody that you don't
Maybe.
really want to show.
How many times have you heard, oh, you haven't played this, you're not a real gamer yet. You haven't played Ocarina of Time, you're not a real gamer. Haven't played Final Fantasy VII, you're not a real gamer.
I
Yeah.
can't believe you haven't played Ocarina of Time.
I played Ocarina of Time.
I've never beaten it.
I've
played
beaten
for,
it,
like-
but I played it.
I played for an hour.
Can't believe you haven't beaten Ocarina of Time.
Yes.
Wait, am I the only person sitting here who has beaten Ocarina of Time?
Yes.
Maybe.
Megan's in here.
See, look at that. See,
See? There's the stigma.
No, but you got like
I've beaten Link to the Past. I've beaten the original Zelda a long time ago.
I haven't.
But Ocarina of Time, I didn't have an N64, so
It's like my go-to like classic game. I even brought it up in the last segment,
and
and you guys are just like, oh yeah, that's.
Well, I'm very aware of the
Well,
game. I
we
know
played
this.
it.
I've
we've played it, and I've seen like voting, online voting where people have voted it the #1 game ever made.
Okay.
not
So
better than Pokemon.
I'm gonna agree that it's from
arguable.
what I've played,
Today.
it's a great game.
Mhm.
I haven't beaten it, but I've played it, and it is a great game.
It's one of those things like, it's there, I can play it, I have it. I have for like the Wii, and then but regardless,
I do have it over there.
yeah,
But,
exactly. But it's like one of those things like,
It's like, I gotta play this game and this game
yeah,
and this game
it
and this
gets
game.
pushed back, and
Yeah.
you never do it. Anyway,
but no good.
But I mean, of course, we're talking about the stigma within gaming itself. But let's broaden it even further to people who don't play games, people who view us as being,
Immature a little bit.
limits. Yeah.
And we just
But what do?
we think of them as stuck up,
oh, as soon as I say it, it's
Bricks.
like I
Really?
don't really care what you think anymore.
Yeah,
right.
it's like oh what you haven't played these games.
Like
Yeah.
I don't care if someone doesn't play. I don't have any feelings to them saying like, oh, you've never played a game. Oh my God, you're stupid. I think like for me, it's as soon as they say you play games. Oh
What are
my
you,
God.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it's like I don't really respect.
I don't respect
you're
your
talking
opinion
about.
anymore.
It's kind of like I
I do
automatically.
not respect the person
Yeah.
anymore at that point.
It's kind of like when you hear a racist remark from somebody and you immediately just go, "You're a bigot."
Mm-hmm.
It's that switch where it's just like, "We're not gonna be friends." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's that thing where it's like,
I'm not gonna talk to you anymore.
you know what I
And
mean?
then you fade off screen
And-
like I am.
It's definitely kind of like that, where because you're pigeonholing an entire group of people.
Yeah.
Granted, it's not a bad pigeonhole. It's not. Well, it's bad, but it's not necessarily. We don't get, killed over it.
Mm-hmm.
No, but
But
it is bad in another way.
Yeah.
Because and I'm just as guilty of this. Don't take what I'm saying as being, I'm being a hypocrite here, okay? But what we should do is when someone says, oh, gaming is for 5-year-olds, I say, well, have you played a game? That's what we should do. We should be like,
Yeah.
have you played a game? And if
Most
they're
of
like,
the
oh
time
no.
they won't listen. It's
Well,
like we don't.
we
care.
kind of go into that thinking that, oh, well, they're not.
But we
gonna
already
listen.
assumed
But
that.
Some
We're assuming
will.
that. And if you're like, well, try it. Try the game. Try. You might like this game.
Yeah.
What do you read? What genre are you into in reading? What genre are you into in movies?
Yeah.
And then pick a game that's related or a similar genre, and try to get them to play it. If they play it, you might find they like it and enjoy it.
They like Lord of the Rings. Pick up a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Or pick a Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah, or Shadow of Mordor. I mean, really.
I mean, but previous Lord of the Rings games haven't been the
Yeah,
greatest ever.
I understand.
So,
I understand.
Return of the King. Come on.
But
great game.
Great game.
But to get someone into gaming.
Yeah, no, not
so
regardless.
But yeah, I mean, pick a game that you think they would enjoy. Try to get them to play it, and maybe you can actually sway someone that way.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done that, but
Yeah.
And I mean, again, when you hear it, it's so off-putting to us because it's such a big part of our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, we devote a lot of time to this show. I mean,
Yeah.
not a ton, but we do our research. We do have to think of the topics. We do sit down every week and talk to you guys.
Yeah.
And this is just
Each show is about a week in the making each week.
Yeah, each week we do
Yeah.
our research.
And
we
we
think of our topics.
And we still got our other things going on. We still got our Wednesday show on. We still got any other streams that we come on. We
work full-time
full-time.
jobs.
we work
Yeah.
full-time
Talk
job.
about the big thing, guys.
I work
that.
I work almost 50 hours at one job, and then I work another 10 at another, and I still do this for you guys every week.
And so, would you like some sugar for your high horse over there?
Yes.
Anyways, so
It's for the horse, not for you.
But it's sugar. I love sugar.
So like, oh.
but,
Maybe I am the horse.
maybe.
Well, you can be the walrus.
Your horse is something.
But
Anyway.
so I think when we talk about our stigma for video games, it's normally we think of people, who object to us in the same way I think we think the same way of people who don't play games as they think of us.
Yes, that's
That we're
exactly
very-
the issue.
That we're very closed-minded, and not well-diverse individuals, which most cases isn't true. I mean, at least in my experience.
In the meantime, we're looking at them and going, they're very close-minded, not very diverse individuals.
Which may not be true.
Yeah.
Right? And we always think of the same type of scenario. Someone's parents, some older generation. When there's a lot of us, 21-year-olds, 20-year-olds that don't play video games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And generally, when you think of those people, you go, at least for me, I immediately think of like three groups of people who don't. Like, people who play, don't play anything besides sports games. I usually think of jocks and
Yeah.
the typical jock stereotypes. You know what I mean? People who are just into cars and typical monkey wrench,
Racing games or whatever.
Yeah, that stereotype. And I think it's a very stereotypical view of things because that's the way you categorize things in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And although I know a lot of people who, play football, but, play Halo, the best I've ever seen, a game that I've played for a very long time and do like a lot myself.
That's because they're mutually exclusive things. Like,
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
don't affect each other.
But
Come on, we all-
your interests may influence what you play.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could be an expert at a Madden game and suck at football.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Probably like 99% of Madden players.
Actually.
Also, you could absolutely be amazing at football and suck at Madden.
Yep.
You may know what plays do. You may know what the best play to do is, but you don't know how the AI will react, and you don't know what buttons to press. You're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Right.
I kind of fit into like an interesting area because I watch football. Like you do this too, right? Watch football and watch sports.
I'm not the only one.
Well, I was thinking other things too because I have a lot of fandoms that I'm into. Jacob's in a lot of fandoms, but being the fact that I do watch sports, when I'm watching sports with people, these are just topics I don't ever bring up.
I got those Giants.
Shut up about the Giants. We're done.
Go Bills.
High five the Bills.
But just like when I'm watching, a Giants game, I can't bring up these topics. I can't bring up anything. It's just like, I'm a video game fan. I'm an anime fan. I like show Supernatural and stuff like that.
You like Superman?
Yeah.
What do you hate this show?
No, it's not good. I hate.
I know you hate Doctor Who, but I thought, which, by the way,
Or-
you just committed internet suicide right
I
now.
know.
But,
There's gonna be like a TARDIS flying through this window any second.
but I get what you're saying.
But yeah, it's kind of like I fit into all these things, and it's like sometimes you just kind of like want to tiptoe around things. It's like I don't want to bring it. It's like I'm talking to a guy about anime. I hope he doesn't notice I'm wearing a giant shirt. Just like
Mhm.
you know.
Yeah, it's like I can't be a gamer and a sports fan.
Yeah, it's
I
like,
can't be a gamer and enjoy just
You know,
doing nothing.
you know, it's like I'm buying Madden, and I'm like, you know, what can I buy with Madden? So you know, yeah.
I don't look like I'm playing.
Or
It's like,
you can't
you
be a
could be
gamer
gotta-
and athletic.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a big one.
that's
Or,
another one. Yeah.
like, for example, I know that you know this, and I know that Chris knows this as well, but, you know, I'm very outdoorsy. I like camping. I like hunting. I like shooting guns and shooting bow and arrow and, you know, being outside in the wilderness a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm a very avid gamer as well.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's something that when, you know, somebody gets to know me, I mean, they'll get to know one side of me, and then I will immediately switch when they ask me what I'm doing, because I'm not going to have a filter. I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, you know, I'm just going to go home. I'm like, I'm going to go home, play this, and this. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Or if, for example, say he catches me on a Tuesday, I'm going to be like, I'm going to stream about video games.
Did we somehow just switch back to part 1?
Probably. It's hard not to.
I feel
No.
like we did.
I don't
No.
think we did, because I feel like we're trying to say how we still have a bias towards people
Yeah.
and how we are
It's
judging them immediately
we-
on not gaming
Okay.
Yeah.
and
It's
putting them in these categories of, oh, well, you know, you're just a garage monkey. You don't have the intelligence
So-
to play video games.
and so we kind of
Never
when
done
we're
that one.
when we're around
I
these
know, but that's what
people,
I'm saying is an
Right.
exaggeration.
like when we're around these people, we kind of tiptoe around these topics so as not to. What are you laughing about, Victor Cruz or Jacob?
Me.
Okay.
But
But we kind of tiptoe around these topics to not bring them up around people.
But yeah, that's, I think, one of the bigger things that the stigma that we put on people is that we don't talk about our actual lives.
Like we're like you know ashamed to like talk about things because
I wouldn't say ashamed. I'm trying
not
to keep a friend.
yeah.
I don't think they have the capacity to understand what I'm talking about in such depth that I
Like,
would,
I've
and that they would brand me with the stigma of video games.
I've tried to explain to people.
I've feared that before.
I've tried to explain to coworkers Final Fantasy games, anime shows, just all these things, and I get these blank expressions on their face like, "God, video games, well, aren't those for kids? What do you mean? What do you mean you go on this grand adventure?
I mean, for
anime, what do you mean they have different genres of anime? Isn't it just cartoons?
for RPG Live, you know, at work we'd have some event on a Tuesday, like, oh, I can't go. I got, you know. I told them we trying too loud to say RPG Live because they knew what it was, but it's like, and then you come in the next day, oh, how was game night? It's like, I know you're just messing with me, and it's fine, but it's like you don't
seem to understand.
like we're just
What
it's a
it
group
is.
and at the end of the day, it's a group of friends getting together playing games.
And then you write them off as jerks or
Yeah,
Yeah,
or people who don't understand you.
Yeah,
yeah, you kind of just write them off as,
And-
oh, this guy's a jerk now.
instead
I
of
think a
trying to
big stigma that we
explain.
put on people.
it's because you can't explain it sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't.
Well,
They don't.
sometimes
They just
yeah,
won't get it.
Sometimes they're unwilling.
Yeah.
Which is a totally different.
Oh,
That's a
Yeah.
totally different ballgame.
Yeah.
This is but that's what we're assuming a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Which
And like
And I think one of
is
the
it
bigger
sort of-
people.
I don't know.
I
I've
think
never really
one of
tried.
I think one of the biggest things that we do with this, us being guys, Adam, and I'm not sure about Ray, and not sure about you, but personally,
All right.
us
But-
being guys, not sure about all of you, but me.
well, I'm not sure about your current situations, but sometimes in our lives, this has happened where you meet a girl, you have things in common, and then they ask you what you're doing, and you're like, I'm going to play video games, and you're like, should I tell them that, or should I not?
I
Should I-
immediately get that out there because if they can't deal with it, they can't deal with me.
I understand, but there's a certain level of like, you know, where you connect with somebody at first, or if you haven't met them online, you know what I mean? Because somebody you meet online, you're obviously not afraid to because you've met them online and they obviously play. But I know there's a lot of people that I'm friends with that I don't bring up gaming because they're girls, and I fear that they wouldn't understand, and they just brand me as the general stereotype nerd.
Mhm.
So I immediately think to them, oh, they're non-gamers, I can't really talk to them about this. You know what I mean? And I know it's wrong because girl gamers are just as valid guy gamers. I'm not saying that girl gamers suck at gaming, or it's just statistically there's less.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And statistically in the past, in my own personal experience, girls don't understand it. And it's again statistically, it's not saying every girl doesn't understand it. It's not saying
yeah,
that.
that's not true.
Oh, trust me, I know it's not true because I have had ex-girlfriends and I've had female friends and I still have female friends that play video games very avidly. I'm very good at them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But statistically speaking, guys play video games more. I'm a typical nerd-looking guy, and it doesn't help my case.
You really? No.
I know it's very, very close.
I wish he was wearing the Red Power Ranger shirt.
I know.
That would have put the whole ensemble together.
Ironically, I wore to the range yesterday. So, but you know what I mean? And I don't, in my mind, I don't need any more reason for them to just pigeonhole me into that nerd thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's where I think a lot of the stigma that we put on other people happen, where we're just immediately flipping that switch of, well, you know, you're this person, you're that person, you're this person.
Yeah.
You wouldn't understand me.
But does that make it okay?
No,
No.
it doesn't. And we should definitely be more open with, you know, the fact that we're gamers and try to invoke them into our world a little bit more, you know, and try to make a shared experience with them and connect with somebody more.
Yeah, they don't have to.
I mean, when we're talking to another gamer and we find out that they don't like they never played a game we played because they didn't think it was interesting. What's the first thing you do? You try to show them the game.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know,
No,
here's what you can do in the game, not
Really?
just what you were trying to do and you died.
Yeah.
yeah, or here's what the game actually is.
Mhm.
It's not what you thought it was. Something like
Yeah,
that.
the beginning 5 minutes suck. Yeah, we understand. But
We get that.
We understand you spent 5 hours trying to make a character in Skyrim because you couldn't decide between the slightly wider eyes or the slightly narrower eyes, and you wanted the tattoo to be just right, and oh my god, now there's options for facial hair. But you gotta just it's a first person
Yeah.
game. You're not gonna see the character. Just get past that. Play dragons. There's dragons.
Play dragons.
Play then play the mod where they replace the dragons with Thomas the Tank Engine.
What?
You want to put that in everything.
I know, because they replaced the Dragon's Roar with the
Thomas
Thomas
the Train. I know.
with choo choo. What was that? Choo choo, Dragon. And then the true face of evil as flames come out of Thomas's face. Oh god, that is a scary image.
So,
I
so
thought you
wait,
were
Thomas
saying
Tank Engine can fly?
What?
Thomas Tank Engine can fly?
It just comes down. Douche.
Raining.
Choo choo.
But we must digress back to our normal conversation. Where were we?
Not talking about Shining Time Station. What?
The joke just registered.
Yeah.
I heard the joke. I was like, oh. The delayed joke.
Anyway, back to Jacob's point.
Yes.
You are afraid to talk to someone you just meet,
Yeah.
right? Whether it be girl or guy, unless you like, he's a nerd.
Yeah.
He's a nerd.
Yeah.
And again-
Sometimes you can tell. You walk into work. Hey, they got a chocobo on the desk.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like this guy.
Yeah, like I have a little Yoda on my desk, you know? We're good.
I got Deadpool and Boba Fett. I send out the nerd signal,
Yeah.
inviting all the nerds to come in.
Yeah, the guy next to me's got Boba Fett on his desk, so you know it's good. We got a little teamwork going on with Star Wars, but yeah, it's like with RPG Live, like I can't really talk to these guys about it because
They wouldn't understand.
yeah, they don't get it.
But they might. You know, they might understand it in the fact that, you know, people go to play cards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we don't think that they'll just get it. You don't think that they'll understand because, oh, well, you're the stereotypical person who hates me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's not fair to them because they are our friends and we should be able to try to bring them in to see what they think.
You know, you meet someone. What's your favorite game? You know. Let's be like, oh, let's play this. Like my favorite game, Final Fantasy X. We all know it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's try Final Fantasy X. You don't like it? At least you tried.
Yeah.
And then you know, from that point on, oh, they don't like that kind of game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can put them in something that, you know, I mean, most people would like, or this or that, and be like, there's other types of games you like, you know, you liked it, but you kind of didn't.
I mean, really, I'm gonna say it. A safe bet would be to go with a sports game or a shooter.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go with sports game because those are kind of a little bit more complex in thought processing. Like, I don't get sport games ever.
And they do have a pretty good learning curve.
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
Unless you play
until
it
you're
easy.
good.
if you play Madden at one of the easier settings, it is
It's easy.
it is easy.
Yeah.
And if they are a football fan, that's an easy place to start them. You know. Or like I said, starting with one of these popular games like Call of Duty is not a bad place to go.
But then you
Wii
get the,
bowling,
all
yes,
you do
Wii
is killing
bowling.
people.
Actually,
Yeah,
Wii bowling
technically
is a
that's-
very good way to get people in. It's very
Yeah.
intuitive, very easy, and it's actually really satisfying. I mean, I've bowled a perfect 300 in Wii bowling.
It's very
I'm not gonna
satisfying
lie.
for Jacob. Very satisfying.
Listen, in my house, it's very serious. We actually have Wii injuries sometimes. My dad, brother, and I almost did have thrown our elbows out Wii boxing.
Dude, do you guys like go through like the whole bowl? You guys have like a thing there to dry your hand and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Like get the
We
chalk bag and
No, what we do is we actually take the hair dryer on cool, and we get the nice like dryer effect of like the dryer.
just walk into Jacob's 2000s
I've,
of
I've
MacGyver's
never
bowling alley.
been very good at Wii boxing simply because it doesn't register my punches. I
No.
punch too fast.
All you
No,
get is this.
Yeah,
Oh,
It's
yeah.
all on
all-
the wrist.
It's all
It's
on the wrist.
accelerometer.
Well, that's
So you can go like this.
right, but
Instead of
I'll punch.
Yeah.
I'll be like, and
Yeah,
it
that's
registers one punch. I'll just be like,
And no. You'll go, and you'll see your knees all the way on the ground. Ah, crap.
well, I mean,
Something
I'll
happened.
punch. Look, I know how to punch, so I
Yeah.
punch, and it doesn't work, and
No.
it makes me sad.
And you gotta go like this.
And I do play.
Like baseball, I was trying to like the whole wind up with
I
the
remember doing
baseball.
that.
And no, you really want to get a good pitch in the baseball game, it was flick the wrist.
it's
And suddenly,
this is actually
fastball.
this is both of them. It's both of them for me bowling. Batting, pitching, Wii bowling, boxing,
Golf.
Tennis quite
tennis.
You look like
B
you're
button?
fighting with the boxing.
Nope. I know it's weird.
No. Even better. Jacob, golf. Dink. Oh my god, it went over.
I hate
No,
that so
this
much.
is not what you would. This is what you do if you ever want to play neat golfing. All right, power button. Awesome. Done. You don't play me golf.
That was the most frustrating game ever. Every time I tried to hit softly, it's like, oh no, you
You do
win.
it great in practice. Great in
Yeah.
practice, and
you try to like do this, and your guy just goes, and he slices it to the lap. It's in the fucking water trap. That's one.
No, you didn't have one today.
I had one
No,
today.
you did not.
anyway,
We're so
regardless,
sweet
I
out.
think we're way
No, you
we're,
wasted mine. I
we're
got it
way
back.
off topic right now. So let's try to get back on topic.
Actually, I think we're also over time.
All
Yeah.
the time.
Are we overtime?
Yeah.
We're over time.
Well, then, thanks for watching.
I said we will end it at that as the very long and lengthy topic that we may come back to.
Yep.
one of
We
those-
definitely would appreciate your thoughts on stigmas of video gamers, or that you as a gamer would give other people.
So you can tweet it at us, or if you're watching this on YouTube, put it in the comments below.
Or you can email us.
Whatever you want to do, we will
Yeah.
answer you. Just follow us, like us, do all that. stuff.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. All the different words that mean the same thing.
Yep.
So, I guess we'll see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Enjoy the music.
Bye.